Awesome. Well, you must have been touring the country, taking a few bows here and there.
I've been awfully busy. Yes, sir. My phone has been blowing up. The day after the meet, my wife and I went out to dinner. And while we had dinner, I got 83 emails, just emails, during that time. It's been crazy. And I've been trying to utilize, I know this platform isn't going to last forever. So I've been trying to maximize it as much as possible,
Well, I want to be your agent when you get your first movie gig. Now, if you've been living under a rock and don't know exactly what Bill's done, let me just kind of give you a bit of a journey about what he was up against. Back in, June of this past year, Jimmy Cobb benched 1,120 pounds.
Yes.
And then shortly after that, Tiny Meeker in November of 21 benched 1,125. And then Bill just recently, a couple weeks ago, at our 365 Strong meet at Mountain Island Fitness, benched 1,129.9 pounds. I just rounded up 1,130. That sounds better.
I have done that a few times.
And I guess I'm sure people would be interested in appreciating your perseverance. I mean, obviously, over the last year, you've been on a nonstop mission to accomplish exactly what you did in January. To stay with it, that tells people tons about your character, about who you are, the faith, the deep-rooted faith that you lived with and live life with. What was running through your mind? Did you ever doubt yourself?
Oh gosh, constantly.
Are you human? Really?
Yeah. Bill, to be frank with you, before I went to that last attempt, I think I added it up. I think I've missed that record 20 times, and
yeah, I was going to let you say that, not me.
Yeah. My mom used to tell me as a little boy that I was the most determined person she'd ever met in her life, and when I set out to do something, it's just, I don't want to hear whether that rabbit can climb a tree or not. That rabbit's got to climb the tree. And, I was coming down to the end and, Bill, I was not a great bench presser for years. I mean, I came out of college. I benched 341 at the age of my mid 30s. I'm benching in the mid 400s. To think at that point in time that I was going to be considered the best, to have the biggest bench of all time was unrealistic. It never crossed my mind. I admired guys like Bill Kazmaier and some of those other guys that I looked up to, and I thought, how in the world did they do that, And but towards the end, I started to see a glimpse. I started to see a little light at the end of the tunnel where I thought I had a chance. And man, it was relentless. And at my age, it seemed like I was, instead of taking some time off and backing off a little bit, I just, every time I had an opportunity to enter one of your meets, I wasn't going to pass it up. And I just kept trying, hoping that, putting it together. And I knew that I was really pushing the envelope. I was burning the candle both ways, because I have this massive sleep disorder, which is one of the main reasons why I had to retire. I don't sleep at night. I get very little sleep. And here I am, 62 years old, don't sleep, and I'm not a gifted bench presser. So it's like, how is this supposed to happen? So
and with that many things going for you.
No, I didn't, and then going to the meet, it was it was snowing and freezing rain, just about dark. And I'm going down the highway, close to 80, and there's a ladder falls out of a truck, and I plow into it, blow out my front tire, and I spend over 3 hours changing the tire. My arms were throbbing, my body was killing me, and I'm thinking, there's no way I'm ready to go bench that kind of weight. I couldn't hardly move my arms, my elbows, my triceps were hurting so bad the next day. And it's never going to be perfect, Bill. People constantly want the perfect scenario. It's not going to happen. In my years of coaching, you just have to know it just doesn't happen. It's not realistic. So, that first attempt, my right hamstring cramped up. And as soon as the right leg gives you a problem, the bar goes to the left. And I started down with it. I'm like, but I'll get it straight. And I thought, no, take it. I knew better. And so then the second one, I thought I was like an inch and a half from touching. And Joey comes up to me and says, "Hey, you were only a quarter of an inch from touching." I'm like, holy smokes, I didn't know. But I knew I had flattened out, and the chances of me getting it wasn't very good at that point in time. So I had the spotters grab the bar. And I'm going into that last attempt, and I'd missed it. It was I had told everybody, and I was committed to it, that this was going to be my last attempt in competition. It was announced, that Joey made a big announcement about it, which I didn't mind, but I sat there and I to be honest with you, I prayed, and I didn't ask God to give me the lift, not at all. In fact, kind of the opposite. I prayed and just told God, thank you for the 50 years that I was able to do this sport. How many people get that opportunity to do something that they absolutely passionately love, day in, day out, to the level that I got to do it at, and learn and the lessons of life through the lifting of weights, to meet the people that I got to meet. I had to be grateful. I could not be ungrateful. And I just told God straight up, if I make it, that'd be great. If I don't make it, I can live with it, because I'm so thankful for the 50-year journey. Now, after I prayed that, I said, but if you got any tips, now's the time. And I swear God said, move your hands out 1/8 of an inch. I thought, that's good advice, yeah. And try to bring the bar down just a hair faster. All right. And when I got the lift off, it felt okay. I'm not going to say it felt light, but it felt okay. Brought the bar down, and I was ecstatic when Joey said press, because I knew I was in a decent position to push. I did not expect the weight to come up like it did. Almost missed it because I was so startled by it. That was the cleanest bench I have done in 10 years. And if I had to save it for one, that's the one I wanted. And I was so thankful. And to Joey's credit, he held me at the top to make sure there was no one who could say, we took the bar early, whatever. It was a legitimate 100% clean lift. And I've heard from great lifters, from emails, messages, all tell me that it was the cleanest all-time world record that they've seen in a long time. And I'm not here to debate anybody else's. I'm just thankful for that. It came up. Normally the right side lags behind because I got a bad shoulder. No, it was boom, and it just shot up there. And I held it, and I'm like, I can hold this thing all day long. It was incredible. And when I didn't even look at the lights, I knew. I'm like, if they don't pass this one, I don't know what they're looking for.
You heard everybody screaming, hysterical at that point. You didn't need to look at a light at all.
Then I started crying.
I've never
you know? I
seen
mean,
bedlam like that as soon as that went up. That
it
was the cleanest bench I ever saw you do, or almost anybody ever do.
it was awesome. I mean, the whole moment, I just, I just wish I wish people could have been there to know. To put it in perspective, I called my wife afterwards. She started crying. I called my son. He started crying. I called my daughter. She started crying because they all understood the magnitude of this lift in my life, what I had given up for 50 years to accomplish it. And the people there at the meet appreciated it as much as anybody that could have been there. And that was such a cool experience to be able to share that with them. When people tell me, Bill, you had a great lift. I'm like, no. That wasn't my lift. That was a lift from all them people like you and all those people who spot me, those people who trained with me, those people that encouraged me. That was your lift. That was you involved in it. And as much as me, people ask me, how's it feel? I don't know. I haven't grasped it yet. But I hope that those people that have been involved in it, like yourself, are enjoying it even more than I have, because you helped me make it happen. Couldn't have done it without you.
Now, obviously, we've both seen a lot of sports history made through time. The last inning home run with the bases loaded, down 3 runs. The last bucket made in a overtime game, a 3-pointer and you're down by 2. That was the best I ever saw, Bill, bar none. The best clutch sports ending that I've ever seen. And if you can't make a movie about that, I don't know what you can. That's a storybook ending.
There's actually a film crew coming out from LA. And I want to double check with you, because I'd really like for you to be able to describe to them what happened, because you've been so involved in it. It was they've heard about it. They got, we've talked about it. And so they want to do a mini documentary on the whole experience. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was speechless. I mean, and that's hard to do. I mean, everybody, you thought yourself, your wife, the whole crowd was in tears. I mean, It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was such an incredible moment. And the people sincerely congratulating me for it. It meant the world to me, and I wanted to make sure that everybody who played a role in it got to feel like and understand what it meant to me for them to be involved in it. And because it hit me hard. So
yeah, I mean, everybody really felt good, not only for you, but they felt good about where they were and what they were watching, and the whole experience was phenomenal.
Yes, it was. I think it's definitely a landmark moment in powerlifting and for 365 Strong. I think that it was just, I think it was just a representation of what you've tried to establish. And you've gone through a lot of struggles, I know, in getting this federation on its feet and moving forward. And I think that it laid open the foundation to bigger and better things in the future.
I appreciate it. Obviously, for a good end result, you have to work harder on yourself and what you do internally than what shows up. So obviously the work comes like you training for your bench. It's the preparation that you and the detail that you put into it really equates to the end result at the end of the day. So we're excited about, a lot of things that we've been up to improve what we do, the product that we have for our lifters. Obviously, promoting our lifters has always been our mission and what we're about. And, it was easy to promote you at this point. And it's been a blessing to promote so many of our lifters, no matter if they're world class or just starting out.
Yep.
I get a kick out of watching success stories grow as time goes. And being a coach, obviously, you're going to have a little bit more opportunity for that. To watch you're going to be the fertilizer or carrying the fertilizer to watch people grow. And now, if you had to project, there's a slew of people that are going to be after that record, Bill.
Oh, I know.
And it's like,
they already are.
Yeah, the first 4-minute mile. 1 year after somebody broke that 4-minute mile, 25 others broke 4-minute mile.
Yeah.
So now that they've seen that 11:30 is a doable bench, and really, I'd be shocked if they didn't see how you blew that away.
Yeah. At 62, that's the thing. They're all
at
going,
62.
wait a minute.
If you don't mind, it don't matter. So it's exciting. Now you've trained with recently, especially with a lot of great benchers coming up.
Yes.
Have already, laid their own groundwork through history and success. I know one name comes up, not only Joey Smith that you had mentioned, but Doug Smithy.
Yes.
Who else? I mean, there's a slew of guys that you could mention.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to start with Doug. All right. Doug and I have been able to develop a great friendship. We're going to go wild boar hunting coming up here in a couple of weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that. We probably text each other every day, multiple times. And his bench is starting to explode up, and I want to help him. I mean, I'd be thrilled if he broke my record, I mean, it's a record. That's what they're there for, All I wanted was one moment to stand on the mountain and look around and go, wow, nobody's been up here before, and I had it. Duncan Hunley is another young man who's just, oh my gosh, he's so full of talent, so much ability. Spencer Mather, way he crushed that 903 in the meet. Holy smokes. And Bill, I got to be honest with you. I've been going to few of these meets lately, and I get more excited watching my guys lift. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get myself ready to lift. And and I said, well, between the leg problem and my passion for wanting to help my guys, I was like, well, that you've been pushing this thing hard and your body's breaking down on you. It's time. And I knew it was time because I really, really enjoy helping the guys out. And I want to see all my guys. I want a whole slew of guys that I help coach to bench over 1,000, and I'll tell them straight out, I want them to do it in 365 strong because I want everybody to go, what's going on down there? And, it's like you said of the 4-minute mile, one of the things we found in the weight room with football players, I find it's true with everybody. We used to have at one point in time, the biggest set of dumbbells was 65 pounds. Nobody touched them because those were the heavy dumbbells. So we got some 80s, Well, then everybody started doing the 65, but they're not going to touch the 80s because those are the heavy ones, you know? And we got hundreds. So when we ordered new dumbbells, the head strength coach ordered dumbbells up to 175 pounds. I'm like, well, who's going to use those? He goes, nobody. They're not there for guys to lift. They're there so they're not the, you know, so they're the heavy ones. So they'll grab the 150s. And I went, that's genius, you know? And, you know, when you open up that window and you think, oh man, this guy's 62 years old, he just did it. Why can't I? And that's my question to them too. Why can't you? You should be able to. You're more talented than I am. I look at some of these guys who are built to bench press, and you know, I'm not built to bench press, but I, you know, found a way to get it done. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they're capable of doing. And I want to see how much they can do. And I'd love to be a part of it, helping them get there.
Well, I think you ought to thank Earth, Wind, and Fire as well. That jacks me
People
up. I'm
ask
telling
me
you.
about
When
that.
I hear September, I'm ready.
People ask me, why in the world do you pick that song? I said, because I just don't want a song that's distracting. You know, I just want something that's there. And I know it's playing. I don't want to think about no music.
Sure.
For years, I lifted with no music at all. And I just want something to relax. I don't need, the worst mistake I see so many lifters do is they raise their arousal level too high. And they they allow it to go externally. And I think that what's important is the bench press is such a energy sensitive exercise that you want to internalize that energy so that you're relaxed. Look, on the exterior, you look relaxed, but in the interior, there's a rage going on, and nobody else sees it. Nobody else knows about it. But through the discipline of training week after week, day, month after month, year after year, you develop the ability to automatically, you don't have to get psyched up. You just turn it on and know how to go into that deep spot. And that's a part of lifting weights that we don't always touch on because we always see the exterior. But what's happening is when you lift heavy weights, you know who your opponent is. You know 500 pounds or whatever. You know what it's going to take for you to get yourself there to make that happen. And so by doing that week in, week out, and developing the mental discipline of knowing how to get up to that level without getting psyched up, without wasting energy, you become a mentally stronger athlete person. So when adverse situations occur in your life, people will ask you, why doesn't this bother you? How can you just shut it off and move forward so easily? Because I've lifted weights, and they're always kind of confused by that. But because of your competitive drive year after year, it's changed your mind too, you know? So yeah, that's why I like the just easy. I don't want nothing screaming and hollering at me. Too many times I've done that, and I'm thinking about the music, you get my head going, and I'm like, no. All my energy needs to go in that bench press. You know, there was in the
So
1980.
September was your trigger mechanism to pull everything inside.
Yeah.
So you're that piston when it comes to time to bench.
Conditioned response.
Right.
Every time I hear it, I know, bam, go. Time to go. Don't need to go psyched up.
Controlled emotion. I got you.
Yeah. But anyway, I watched Linford Christie, I think it was, in the 100-meter finals of the 1980 Olympic Games or 84 Olympic Games. And I watched all these other sprinters jumping up and down, hyping, you know, jumping all, you know, getting all hyped and ready to go. And he's just standing there at the blocks, head down, calm as could be, focusing all his energy into that race. And guess who won? You know? So that had a huge impact on my life as far as my mental preparation. it's kind of where I picked it up at.
Now, do you do a lot of visualization, picturing, not only, the end result of what you put into it? In other
You know
words, the movement.
Yes. What I do is I do deep muscular relaxation.
Yeah.
Visualization. I don't use this time to psych up at all. It has nothing to do with psyching up. Just relaxing and understanding my purpose. And then I like to give thanks. I give thanks for everything, everybody, everything in my life. And when I do that, people around me can see a difference, and I can see the difference in who I am. Just being thankful for, being grateful for everything that in my life. It's a powerful tool, So yeah, that's what I do. A lot of visualization. I have a little CD that a tape of it that I use, and I used it for 30 years.
Okay, so again, you're here today, probably gone tomorrow, gone the next day. So what's the latest news bulletin for yourself, other than LA coming in, possibly doing a documentary? What else
I've
you have
got
on the plate?
I have got a ton. I had to write them down. A ton of podcasts I have to do. I had to write the list down because I'm getting confused on how many I have to do and when I got to do them. And what I want to do is I want to be able to share while I have this platform, what happened, what it's all about, and talking about the people that helped me get there. I am getting a new ring. This was going to be a gold one, and it will say 1130 because I figured, hey, whole lot, it only fit so many numbers on there. So I'm looking forward to it. It says all-time world record on it, and that's going to be something I'll be very thankful for. But right now, that's about all right now. Just that. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and Travis Mash and I are going to write a book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, would you be open, of course, not putting you on the spot, but would you be open to doing like a brief seminar before nationals, the day before?
Yes.
Over in Muzz?
Yeah, Doug and I have been talking about it, and we wanted to talk to you about that and see if we could do something like that. Either Friday night, Saturday night, whatever.
It would be Friday.
Friday night.
It would be Friday.
That's what I thought too. That would work best because, it's fine with me. Whatever works, I would love to do it. And just go through how I program my lifts. I think that I was on Ryan Kennelly's Bench Monster TV show last Thursday, and I had to do it out of my hotel room because I was at Sorinex for a conference. And normally it's about an hour and a half, and it starts at 10 p.m. And we got done filming at 1:30 in the morning, and then we stayed on the Skype call for another 45 minutes with more questions. So I didn't go to bed till after 2:30 in the morning, and I had to go. I had that conference. But
that's crazy.
But
no, we would get that going a little earlier, so and ended at a certain time too. So we wouldn't put you in that position.
Sure.
But I know there's a lot of people that are going to be lifting in the various weight classes on Saturday, April 23rd, and Sunday 24th. That would be grateful to any input. And obviously, there's so many pieces attached to geared lifting, geared benching specifically, that it would be great for you to connect the dots and help them out as much as possible. Obviously, that's what you do. You love doing that and giving, I guess, passing it forward to so many other people.
Yep. The program design I find is such a key, that in ensuring that you're progressing forward, it's so easy. And there's so many, oh my gosh, how do I put this? Internet misconceptions. All right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've had guys coming in and they want to try to impress me. So they try to tell me all this internet jargon, and I'll just turn to them. I'll say, just shut your mouth. You don't know how stupid you sound, because there's just, I think personally, the way I've changed my philosophy over the last 2 years, I argued with myself over and over and over again. But then I kept proving that I was right in what I was doing, and that it was working, and not only in my life, but in the other guys that I trained, that I said, wait a minute, this makes too much sense. And then it was like a week after the contest, Rich, who Stanley, the guy who was there helping me out, him and I were having lunch, and I went, you know what? I just realized that one of the concepts that I've been trying to go and I try to justify. I don't need to justify, because I got it, the basic concept, from the Bulgarian training system back in the 80s. And I didn't know I got it, but it's somewhat what they did. And I'm like, now it makes sense, So I don't feel bad about it anymore, because I used to go, hey, I think it's heresy, because I know that everybody says you have to have all this variety of training, and I'm like, I don't do a lot of variations. I mean, it's very limited, and I don't waste energy doing things that confuse the motor pattern. I want to bench big weight. The other concept that I get, especially after this contest, is how much do you do raw? How much do you do raw? And I'm like, all right, listen, this is how it works, okay? If I'm working with a shot putter, okay, and he's benching 500 pounds, and all 500 pounds is transferring to the shot put, good. But if I go and want to go say, hey, let's just for the fun of it, get your bench to 550, it's not, and it doesn't transfer to the shot put. In fact, it might take away from it. Then why am I doing it? All right.
That's right.
Okay. So when I train the raw bench, people think the more you bench raw, the more you're going to do in the shirt. And it's just not true. It's kind of almost the opposite. Is you want to build a big base of raw strength, don't get me wrong, but it's got to be with the technique that's going to transfer to the shirt. Then we actually drop my training max on my raw bench almost like 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. Because if I try to tax the energy out of my raw bench and out of my shirt bench, it's burning the candle at both ends, and I have I end up being mediocre at both. And so when people go and they say, well, how much you bench raw? I'm like, well, first of all, it shows me that you've never lifted any equipment. And two is it doesn't transfer unless just automatically, So that's the biggest one that I've been trying to deal with people, trying to explain to them. The other thing, like Todd Campbell told me, he said, Bill, he said, I just thought every time I add a layer, it was just going to be a little bit harder. But he says it actually doubles in how complex the lift becomes. So like a single ply is twice as complicated as a raw bench. A double ply is 4 times, a triple ply 8 times. When you get up there with the 4 ply, you're talking 16 times more complicated. So people sit there and see me with a 4 ply shirt, and they're like, oh, he missed another one. Oh, he missed another one. It has to be perfect. It has to be absolutely perfect. All right, nothing's going to happen. And so, and people, they might criticize that, but that's why I love it. I love how complex it is. I love the athleticism that it takes to be able to take that big old heavy weight and bring it down with the right tempo and get it in the right spot, and my body to be in the right position to be able to push the weight up. Does it cause me to fail a lot? Yeah. But I had one big success, so I'll take it.
Now, obviously, you had some, like you said, health, but knee complications. And that really challenged you because you didn't have any backside. I mean, you had no base to speak of.
No.
In a lot of your attempts over the last year or so, it was basically like doing a dead leg bench.
It's been that way. It's been very difficult for me to train my legs because of I have such severe restless leg syndrome that I try to tell people I don't just lay in bed and twitch a little. We're talking about full on whole body jerking and convulsions. And when I went down to Houston to Tiny's meet on my first attempt, I tried to stand up and everybody got to see it. And they're all like making a big deal about it. And I knew what was going on. I knew what was happening. Sure. But, people like, oh, he's having, who knows what kind of spasms or, convulsions and stuff like that. But I knew what was going on. I told him, I said, leave me alone. Let me sit down. Let me get a drink of water and I'll repeat that way. And they were like, oh, there's no way you can try it again. Yes, I can. All right. I'm going to try it again. I just, it's gotten to where in the evenings, my wife and I can't go out to dinner very often. The idea of going to a movie, no way. Riding on a plane, we're nervous about going too long on a plane because I have to stand up. I have to. It's miserable. I get up 4 or 5 times a night, at least 4 or 5 times a night, to just walk around. And the medication I'm on, I'll walk to one of the other bedrooms to do the Theragun so I don't wake my wife up, and I'll fall asleep standing up. I mean, standing in the doorway, just lean up. I'll just fall asleep, and I'll just wake up like, oh, where am I? Oh, I got to go to bed, and I can't get back to bed. I'll fall asleep again before I even go 3 steps, And it's like when people say, hey, when you come down, you can stay at my house. I'm like, no. I don't know what I could do. All right. And I'm not about to embarrass you and your family with me doing who knows what, My wife finds stuff. She finds stuff put away all over the house. And she's like, how did this get here? And I'm like, I must have put it in there in the middle of the night, She's like, what in the world? What were you doing with that? I don't know,
That's great. That's great. So, well, I know you're sponsored by Sornex. I got it all across your chest right here on the screen. So tell us a little bit about Sornex. I mean, here's your opportunity.
All right. I have the greatest job in the whole wide world. I really thought for one point in time that if I wasn't on the floor coaching, I had no value. And Bert and Richard Soren sat me down and they had an intervention with me. And they explained to me that I had value. And I didn't see it. And I owe them so much. They have been nothing but a huge encouragement to me. And they have supported me. They've given me this incredible job. I got the greatest job in the whole wide world. They gave me a truck, a credit card, and they told me, go visit strength coaches at the college NFL level and go hang out with them for the day. And they insist I don't sell anything. And people go, what do you do? I just hang out with them. I just go in there, and if they have questions, I answer their questions. If they just want to talk about the strength coaching career, I talk about strength coaching career. If they want to talk about marriage and coaching, I'll talk about marriage and coaching. If they want to talk about the bench press, obviously I talk about the bench press. But and I'll take them out for lunch. And many times I get done and I get ready to leave, and they look at me and they go, "You really didn't come here to sell me anything?" I said, "No." They said, then they'll say, "Well, there is something I'm interested in buying." I'm like, "Sorry, I'm not that guy."
Yeah. Here's a number.
I didn't know how to tell you how to get it. So I said, I'll get you in contact with somebody, but that's not my intention whatsoever. They also want me to take strength coaches fishing, bow fishing, and hunting. So it's like, okay, I love to do it. So it's a great job, great company to work for. I don't think I'm that interested in going back into being a strength coach. Now I do. If it was the NFL in the right situation, I would consider it, but that's about all. And I'm not the kind of guy who says I got to go back to the NFL because it's the NFL. That's not. I love being around elite athletes. That would be the only the reason why I'd really want to do it. I really enjoy. I think that I can help them understand how to take their incredibly God-gifted talent and how to take it a step further. And Bill, I've been strength coaching for like 35 years, and I've only had one losing season ever. I'm as an assistant strength coach. That's what influence I have. Yeah, but there's something about I don't know what it is, but there's something about my personality that people want, that believe in themselves, and they think I could do that too. I don't know what it is, and I'm thankful that I don't know what it is, because then I might not use it correctly. But right now, I just got to be me, and it gives me the opportunity to help other people. My dream is to put together now the ultimate bench press team. I would love to do that. I would love to go and walk into a competition and go, yeah, here's my 1,000
Team Gillespie.
Yeah. That would be okay. Really fun. I would really enjoy that. But we'll see if it works out.
We've got a lot of great benchers, as you could see, those that you've trained with, those that are coming up along the way. You've meant a lot to a lot of people, a lot of things to a lot of people, me included. I've cherished our time together, and since I think we've known each other about 3 years, 4 years tops. And it's been a blessing for me to meet you and really share so much that we've shared together. You help so many people, like I said, not only in conducting the lifts or strategy or planning, but who you are. People trust because you're sincere. You're sincerely interested and care. So people trust that. And, it's just to your credit, you're just a class act, quality human being all the way around. And we appreciate you and who you are and who you're going to be tomorrow and who you'll ever be, which is that same individual that we know right now.
Well, thank you.
Special thanks to your wife for tolerating what you went through. Really, what a woman. She is fantastic. Because any strong man has to be a real strong woman.
Very strong woman. And my wife is world class. She said, she goes, well, if I'd known you're going to make it, I would have came to the meet.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, I don't know if she could have taken it.
Oh, yeah. I know it. Yeah, and I said, that's okay. I said, when she's there, there's so much of me that wants to make sure that she's content, happy, entertained, and I'm not I lose my focus on what I need to do, because I want to make sure that she's okay. So it's best that she's not there. But one of these days I'm going to talk her into coming by just so you can meet her. She's just, yeah,
I've seen pictures.
She's gorgeous, and she's so smart. I just admire her so much. She's my best friend, no question about it. No question. There's just nothing compares to her and my friendship with her. We're not very exciting. We sit at home at night, watch TV.
Depends what your definition is.
Yeah, we both work. My wife runs, she's director of like 10 mammography centers. So she's super successful. And when she comes home, she's tired, she needs a break. And, and I know what she's going through because of coaching for so many years. And I know I needed to have that release of, this is my home. I don't need no more stress. I want to feel comfortable and enjoy my time. And so that's our time. Our kids have moved out. Our daughter lives in Dallas and our son lives in Connecticut. We have 3 grandchildren. My son has a boy and a girl, and our daughter has a little girl just 2 months old. And, our vacation is going to see our grandkids and hanging out with them. That's our favorite thing to do, So, it's not, we don't party. We don't go out and live a wild life by any means whatsoever. But my wife is a woman of high character. And while we think she insists we don't have anything in common, we actually do, and it's our character. And that's our common bond, is that we both have high character, and we could trust each other because of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Bill, we're going to have to close out because this is good for 1 hour, this recording.
Holy smoke.
Yeah. Again, it's been a joy. I look forward to you catching up with me about the upcoming documentary. So when you hear back, give me a holler, and it'll be an honor to be up there and join you with that. Okay.
You are my number one guy I want in there. So I want you to know that I'm gonna do what I can when I find out they're coming out here. So
okay. I know, is there any parting words for our fans out there?
Never miss a workout. Don't find an excuse to miss a workout. Stay passionate, stay hungry, and remember, failure is only failure if you fail to get up and try again.
And value each day.
Yep.
Has something connected to 365 Strong, I believe. Bill, it's been real, and we'll catch you in the not too distant future. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, my friend.